Welcome back, everyone, to a very special episode of Major Money. It is very special because the impossible has happened. We have finally hit the first ever family play on Major Money. Don't ask me how it's taken this long. I do not know. We've had horrible bad beats. We had point 0.5 yards, Travis Hunter. We had point 0.5 receptions, Travis Hunter again. And then all the way back to me and Sean, just bad beat after bad beat. We have finally hit one. We got rid of Sean to bring in Ross for this exact reason here, and we've hit one. So now we got to go two in a row and really just knock the socks off of our viewers because I bet if anyone watches us regularly, they are probably mind blown that we have finally hit one. I just don't know how we did it.
Yeah.
But we're going to keep it a little familiar. All right, we talked about kind of what our picks are. So with that, I'll let you, Ross. What is your family play today?
Well, obviously, if you watch the past couple weeks, the guy trusted in the family play, Travis Hunter, is not even playing, I don't believe. I didn't see any of his lines on there. So we're going to stick with the guy that got us the first win, Cam Ward. Like I said last week, hottest football player on the planet still. We talked about he went up against Virginia Tech, a defense that doesn't super scare me, throughout the years. This year they're a little bit better, but he went for 343 yards, as you can see on the screen. The only time he has not hit the over of his passing yards was against, I believe it was Florida A&M, and that was 304 passing yards. So he's right there. The only time he did not hit it this year. I love the over. He's going up against Cal. It's a nighttime game. I believe they play at 10:30 on Saturday night. Again, he's just got the hot hand. Miami has about over 500 total offensive yards per game. And they're just cooking. They are one of the hottest teams in football, in the National Football League and in college football. So give me Cam Ward's over passing yards.
And we talked about this last time when you picked it, and I told you how much I loved it because I really think they're hunting for a Heisman here. They are a great team. They struggled a little bit with Virginia Tech in the sense of, as a whole team, the offense still put up massive numbers, as you can see. But they're playing Cal, so another ACC game. People don't realize Cal's in the ACC now. But next we have another ACC game in the night, prime time. Everyone's watching. This is when you get your Heisman, when everyone's watching you. You just had an incredible game that everyone was watching, controversial game. We are going with Cam Ward here, and I really like this play. They are going to make sure he gets his pass attempts. And since you trusted a guy that's been really good for our family plays here, I'm going to do the same. And maybe it's cheating that I pick the same prop every single time he plays, but I don't think so. If it's not broke, you don't fix it, right? Dylan Sampson hit every time in his career he's been a starter. 89.5 rushing yards. They're slowly bumping it up because they figured out how low it actually is. But I'm just going to keep playing it till it doesn't hit. I said if it's in the 80s, I'm taking it. It's 89.5. That's the 80s. I'm taking it, right? You look deep into the numbers. They're playing Arkansas. Yes, that's an SEC team, but they just played an SEC team, and he had 92 rush yards, who was the second best rush defense in the nation, supposedly. Now he's playing Arkansas. Still not a slouch on defense, 21st ranked defense in rush yards per game. But if you actually look into game by game, both SEC teams have ran for 146 yards and 134 yards, respectively. With one of those being Auburn, who's in like the 40s or 50s in rush yards per game for the nation. The other one's in the 20s. Tennessee is actually like fourth in rush yards per game because they run so much. And they have a quarterback who's one of the most talented quarterbacks in the nation, but they haven't had to unleash him yet because they're able to run so well. So Dylan Sampson, anytime it's in the 80s, I'm taking it. I'm not going to think twice about it. We're going to go with two staples for our major money family plays, and I think we're going to hit it back to back. So we have MLB playoffs today as well. We have a good time for a lot of different sports. So what are you going to for your next plays?
So my next two plays happen to be the same team, the same game, and it's kind of a homer pick, but I have obviously some stuff to back it up. First one I'm going with is the pitcher, Garrett Cole, over 5.5 strikeouts. And I know Major probably remembers this. One of the more recent times Garrett Cole was pitching, the wild card game in Boston, I was there. A lot of people have stigma that he's not good in the playoffs. The season after that, he went on and he pitched against the Guardians 2 games in a row, and he had 8 strikeouts. And then the following the championship games, the ALCS, he had 7 strikeouts against the Astros. So this line and the stigma of him not being able to be clutch in the playoffs, I think is just a little bit kind of disrespectful. I mean, he's one of the better pitchers of our time, when I've been watching baseball. So Garrett Cole's over 5.5. Again, he's still trying to recover. I mean, he came out one game, I believe it was the game against maybe Boston, or I can't remember which game it was, but he came out injured, but he's fine now. Boone says he's good to go. I think Boone's going to let him ride. I know Boone doesn't like to go in his bullpen as much. And honestly, as a Yankees fan, I don't trust the bullpen that much. So I know the coaches don't as well. So I definitely think he'll leave Cole in there for a while, as long as he's not getting rung up. 5.5 strikeouts, definitely going with the over on that one. And then I'm going to take it to another Yankee, like I said, and it's not the guy probably everybody's thinking of. I'm going Juan Soto's over hits, runs, and RBIs. I believe it should still, it's still on there. Cool. Juan Soto, I feel like is going to have to be the guy. I know a lot of people talking about his contract. I feel like a lot of people have to focus on the fact that they have Judge and Soto. And I feel like a lot of this year has been mainly Judge. Obviously, having another historic season. They still have Juan Soto. Juan Soto is probably one of the best hitters I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he just has such great plate presence. I think he's going to have a really good game. Obviously, they have the short porch in right field. I think it'll be a really good, to start the playoffs for Soto in a Yankee uniform. And the Yankees need to win. I think they're going to come out hot. They want to take it to, Kansas City and get out of there. I mean, the Yankees have had horrible luck in the playoffs. I think Juan Soto is going to be able to step up clutch, probably where a lot of Yankees hitters won't do that. And then you still don't know what's going on with that whole Yankee lineup. Rizzo, questionable. There's some question marks with a lot of guys. So Juan Soto, over hits, runs, RBIs. I'm going to go with the over 1.5 from that.
Yeah, and I love that, like, one of our picks is kind of aligned right here, because I'm actually going to fade the pitcher playing the Yankees here. We're going to go Michael Wacha, under strikeouts. As my PrizePicks just froze. It is never fails right here that hits. We're going to go under 5 strikeouts. Under has only hit 2 of the last 5, pushed 1 more. So 3 of the last 5 you would not have lost, at least. But the under has hit pretty good in his playoff career. He's actually only pitched in the postseason 1 game like 4 times since 2013. In 2013 is the last time he's pitched more than 1 game. He's not even pitched in the postseason since 2021. In all of those games since 2013, he has not gone over 5 strikeouts once. So if you actually look at it, he had like 2, 0, 5. I want to say another one was 0. In 2013, he was really good, but you're not familiar with in 2024. And he pitched 5 games there. So not much data to go against, and he's facing 2 of the greatest hitters of our generation, no matter how much I love to hate the Yankees as a Red Sox fan. You can't deny Aaron Judge and Soto. I mean, they are just incredible. The whole offense tends to do pretty well, too. They have other guys that can hit. It's not just them 2. They are obviously by far the best. But I'm just fading Wacha. He's pitched less innings in recent games as well. Instead of like trending up, it's trending like a whole inning down. As well as the Yankees are a top 10 team in strikeout rate, which means they strike out. I think it's the 9th least in strikeout rate for the MLB. So it's a team that surprisingly doesn't strike out as much as others. Has an opportunity to put up a ton of runs. against a guy that hasn't pitched in the postseason since 2021 and hasn't pitched more than one game. So since 2013, and only like 4 total. So he's not having a lot of postseason experience since 2013 when I did say he was dominant. He was really good. But since then, he's not doing it. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets knocked out if you're pretty quick. So I would maybe look at his outs as well. But I like doing strikeouts. Y'all know that. I think they're a lot of fun to play. Then we are going to move it over to the guy that probably should finish second in the Cy Young to Chris Sale, Zach Wheeler. We're going to go over 7 strikeouts. It's hit 3 of the last 5, pushed 1 more, so you wouldn't have lost 4 of the last 5. So we're going to count that there. He's facing the Mets. Mets have had a grueling couple of days of very, very important games. They've basically been in the playoffs for like a week straight, it feels like. They had a double header against the Braves to see if they would even make the playoffs. Very next day, had a play game, and then 3 straight days of playoff games that came down to the wire. So great games, but also stress does add on to it. And now they're playing a better team with, like I said, the guy that should be second in Cy Young voting behind Chris Sale. Mets are middle of the pack strikeout rate, so not too low, not too high. And as y'all heard me before, a lot of teams in the middle, they're very similar. So like 15 to 20, 24 doesn't make that big of a difference. It's like less than 1% and over a game that's not that big of a year. He's consistently gone over 6 innings this year, so would not be surprised if he's pitched 6, 7. He's even pitched 8 a couple times if he gets up there. So we have a lot of opportunities to get strikeouts. Now, he has not pitched against the Mets this year, but he has pitched against a lot of the players a couple of times. And his strikeout rate isn't amazing for a lot of them, but you do have a couple of strikeout opportunities there in a pitcher that has not pitched better in his life. So big game. I like rolling with pitchers, especially against an inferior team that has played a lot of stressful innings. They might relax just a little bit because now it's not do or die like it's felt like every single game for them for about a week there. So I like the Zach Wheeler. And if y'all want to fade us or tail us, a couple things you got to know. Use code 5, F5VE, when you sign up. See that new member offer right in the middle of your screen right there. Play $5, get $50 instantly. That is the surest thing in sports betting is the sign-up bonus. You don't even have to win that bet. Play $5, get $50 instantly. We've talked about how they've been doing a lot of promos for various different things. The League of Legends World Championships going on right now, and they're dropping promos for that too. So if you know anything about that, or if you can find someone on Twitter or wherever that knows anything about it and tell those, you get good value. We're in MLB playoffs, WNBA playoffs. They are dropping things consistently. They typically do a Dion discount, but I don't think they're playing this week, as we talked about. So a lot of opportunities to get good value, and you can triple that, quadruple that, whatever the math is going to say on it. Play $5, get $50 instantly of actual value and expected return there. So with that, let's have a good night. Let's hit our second family play in a row. Hopefully we both go 3-3. We go 6-0 and set some kind of record here. But let's steal some money from PrizePicks. Thank y'all for watching.